Hello, this is a recap of American series called The Last Man on Earth Part 5. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Philip is over the moon that he will finally get to sleep with Jill. His day gets even better when he meets Erica. Now that he is single, she wants to take the relationship further. They decided to go hiking at 5 since he has an appointment with Jill at 3. Sometime later, Philip is driving to the market but stops after seeing Todd in the middle of the street. He tells Philip that he said I love you to Melissa and her reply was simply thank you. Philip is happy that his day is going better than Todd's, but he tries to remain natural. He also assures Todd that Melissa will someday say I love you back because he is the only man on earth who she doesn't hate. In reply, Todd mentions that since they come two sons because of his sign, maybe there are more people who will join them in the future. Philip's face drops at the realization if they are joined by more men. Jill and Erica will have options and there is possibilities that they won't choose him. The only solution would be to remove the Alive into Sons board. He puts his plan into action and drives to the billboard that started all. He crosses the sign with spray paint and writes move to Tampa underneath. That way if someone were to see the board, they won't come to Tucson. Just when he thinks he is good, the leader falls off and he is stuck in the billboard. He only has a few hours before his date with Jill and there is no way he can jump off from that height. This wouldn't be so bad if the Arizona heat didn't burn him all over. He whimpers, shouting that he is scared. Back in Tucson, Jill comes to Philip's house in anticipation. She searches for him all over and ends up in his bedroom, but there is no sign of him. Assuming that he is playing a trick on her, she seductively places herself on the bed. 2 hours later, Erica arrives and finds Jill sleeping. They register that they were double booked and double stowed up. In Todd's home, he makes pancakes for Melissa, as always, but this time they are not heart-shaped. She notices he has been decent since breakfast yesterday and they decided to address the situation. She thinks saying I love you to each other is a very important step in one's relationship and she doesn't want to jump there yet. Todd claims he understands and tries to hide that he is upset. Meanwhile, Philip continues burning in heat, trying to find the smallest hint of shade. He hangs his pants on the side of the billboard and lies beneath it, so at least his face would be covered. But to his misfortune, it flies away and he is left in his underwear. 1 more hour later, he stretches his shirt out to hide most of his body, but is struggling. Carol finds Jill and Erica and asks them how their sexual venture went. Upon finding out that Philip never showed up, she assumes he is dead because he would never miss a chance to sleep with 2 women. In the following scene, Philip is on the back of someone's truck. He has been rescued by a stranger who is taking him home when it gets dark. Carol gathers everyone and discusses how they can get Philip back. Before they do anything, a truck approaches them and out comes a handsome man who rescued Philip. It turned out his name is also Philip Miller and he is an ex-military. The woman starts falling over him, trying to find out if they have something in common with the guy. Moreover, he has practical skills to build and run things that will be helpful to the community. Todd is instantly protective of Melissa, saying that she's been friendly to the new guy. He also doesn't forget to introduce himself as her boyfriend. As they chat, the new Philip reveals about move to Tampa board. Everyone figures out why Philip did it and is disgusted by his actions. After the meeting, they go to their respective homes for the night. Todd asks Melissa if she likes the new Philip and she assures him that she doesn't want to be with anyone else other than him. However, it does very little to make Todd feel better. Philip, on the other hand, goes to Jill's house to continue what they had planned, but Jill says she needs to rest and they kick him out. On his way back, Philip notices Jill, Erica, and the new Philip having drinks together. The new guy has taken over what was supposed to be his spot. To get his authority back, he organizes a community meeting the next day. As the president of the United States, the new Philip wants to build wind and solar energy so they can have electricity again. Everyone time breezes his thinking and Philip is left in the shadows. Things get worse for Philip when Jill suggests he and the new Philip should go with their middle names since the new guy doesn't have one. Everyone unanimously votes on calling Philip Tandy from now on. He protests and they settle on a Jenga competition to decide who gets to keep the name. The new Philip wins and Philip's name is turned into Tandy. It has been the worst day for Tandy, so he decided to go to Carol's to drink. But to his distress, she is all dressed up to go to Philip's. He has even fixed her door, something Tandy couldn't do for so many weeks. The next day, Philip is showing the cow that is still stuck in Carol's house. Todd said that a cow can go downstairs, but Philip proves him wrong by making her do it. He is yet again praised while Todd is embarrassed. Soon, Gail, Erica, and Carol start fighting to Philip's attention, and for some reason, he seems to prefer Carol over everyone else. Her love for cats and the caring catch his attention. Tandy is the most bothered by this. He only wanted the other woman for sex, but Carol is his real true friend who has been here since day one. So, to prevent Philip from staying at Carol's, he invites him to his house instead. Soon, Philip moves in with Tandy. One morning, Tandy sees him topless and thinks that he is trying to assert dominance by showing off his ripped muscles. He goes to his pole friends and shows them his body. In his head, the bull gives him a green light to show off his muscle as well. So he walks into the kitchen naked to show Philip who is the real alpha. However, the plan fails when Erica walks in on him naked and makes fun of him. Later that day, Todd sees Philip bringing a garbage truck into the neighborhood while Melissa is riding on the back. He goes to talk to Melissa and asks her to stay away from Philip. He thinks she is about to dump him, so he dumps her first. At last, heartbroken Melissa closes the door on his face. Meanwhile, the girl continues to fight for Philip and Carol seems to be winning because of her knitting skills. At night, everyone goes through the governance board, acknowledging that Philip's arrival has solved half of their problems. Tandy tries to undermine Philip's accomplishment, making it evident that he is jealous. As a result, everyone decided to vote for the president of the United States one more time. Philip wins and is declared as the leader of the community. In a desperate attempt to be relevant, Tandy blurted out that he has made a farm where they can grow crops. He is asked to show them the farm the next day so he can spend the entire night plowing to make his lie come true. The next morning, Todd informs him that in his absence, Philip slept with all the women. Tandy asks Carol if it's true and find out Todd was wrong. They only took a shower at his place because he had hot water. Later, Tandy and Philip go to the farm where Philip praises him for his hard work. Tandy is glad to have someone from to reassure that he is still the man he once was. He even starts to like the new guy. However, this feeling fades away at night when he hears Carol moaning. She and Philip make love all night, making sure the entire neighborhood hears them shouting. Tandy is furious, to say the least. He and Todd are around the campfire when he suggests they kill the new guy. The next morning, Philip is placing solar panels while Todd and Tandy spy on him. By now, Todd's anger has died down and he thinks killing a person is a bad idea, but Tandy urges that it is an easy process. They can just drive him to the middle of the desert and leave him there. This reminds Todd of the time Tandy drove him to the desert. He finds out he was trying to kill him and his disappointment. While trying to prove otherwise, Tandy yells that he hates Philip and Philip hears him. Then Tandy goes to Carol's to ask her when did she marry Philip because he clearly remembers she said she wouldn't sleep with anyone without marrying them. Carol rationalizes that she only married Tandy for babies, but her relationship with Philip is casual. Tandy almost screams in frustration because that is all he wanted from her when they first met. Carol makes it clear that he cannot have her now, that she is in a relationship with Philip. Later that day, Philip moves out of Tandy's house because he heard him talk to Todd earlier. He reveals that he really likes Carol and won't let Tandy messes up the relationship at any cost. In the following scene, Tandy goes to his pool buddies to vent. When he starts talking about Carol, he realizes that he desperately wants to get back with her, not just because she's with Philip, but because she is the only person he is close to. So he gathers jewelry from different stores and brings them to here in an attempt to win her heart. The plan falls when Philip arrives and holds Carol dearly. At night, everyone gathers around and the bonfire again. Carol excitedly introduces Philip's new achievement, a lamp that actually works. Everyone is over the moon because soon they will get electricity in their homes. But a jealous Tandy knocks over the lamp and pretends that it was on him. Everyone blames him for the plunder, and Tandy, being Tandy, makes up several excuses. Eventually, Todd has enough of his bullshit and accuses him of trying to kill him and Philip. Everyone is shocked because that is low below even for someone like him. As the president of the United States, Philip asks him to go away from Tucson and never come back. Tandy is shocked because he is the foundation of the community, and seeing that no one else is speaking up for him, he is hurt. He throws a fit and locks himself into a room, refusing to go anywhere. This continues for 3 days straight. He doesn't come out of the room even once, and eats toilet paper and toothpaste. Carol is worried for him and wants Philip to forgive the guy, but he is adamant. He says that he would be happy if Tandy died, which shocks Carol. She goes to Tandy at night and asks him to come outside because they have forgiven him. A while later, he agrees and joins them around the bonfire. Everyone is glad to see him except Philip, who tackles him to the ground. In the following scene, Tandy in the back of a truck. Philip drives to the middle of the desert and leave him with food and water for 2 days. Even with the supplies, it is clear that he will die if not helped. Meanwhile, Melissa goes to Todd to make sure he's okay, to say that he loves her and is okay with her not loving him back. He just doesn't want to pretend to not care anymore. Melissa takes him back and the two embrace each other. 20 minutes later, Tandy has eaten all of the food and is drowning in regret. He lies down on the ground, unable to walk anymore. Suddenly, one of his best friends, Gary, rolls towards him. Carol has brought him food because she knew 2 days worth of supplies won't be enough. She disclosed that she doesn't want to be with a man who can leave someone out in the desert to die. She would rather be with the one who doesn't have the guts to do it. Tandy is delighted, but he warns her she might be making a mistake because he is a douchebag most of the time. Carol says she knows, and the two drives back into the city as a couple. I hope you like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.